Hi there, and welcome to The Salted Pepper, where we cook for real life, using real food, and we keep it real simple. And today I'm so excited to show you guys how to make the perfect roast beef in the Ninja Foodi. And it's super easy, and it takes less than an hour. So definitely you're gonna wanna give this recipe a try. So the first thing I have here is a 3-pound, it's actually 3.4 pounds, but 3-pound or 3.5-pound would work fine for this recipe, of a top round roast. So that is the roast you want to look for at the grocery store. They're usually labeled top round. You might see bottom round too. You can use a bottom round, but it will not be as tender, just so you know that. So if you don't see a top round, ask your butcher at your local grocery store, and they'll be able to tell you which one would be the best to get that would be comparable. So the top round is what I always use when I'm making roast beef. I think it is the best choice that you can make for a roast beef. It's nice and tender, and it just tastes delicious. So I really recommend looking for the top round. All right, so the next thing we need to do is just get a little rub made up. And I've got a little rub here that I usually use on my roast beef, but you can add in or omit whatever ingredients. You could use simple salt and pepper. That would be wonderful as well. What I have is 2 tablespoons of coarse black pepper. So this would be equivalent to if you freshly cracked your pepper yourself, or I buy it already done and it's called restaurant pepper. So it's just a little bit coarser. And then I have 2 tablespoons of a sea salt. This is a fine grind sea salt, which I use in almost all of my recipes. And I have 2.5 teaspoons of garlic powder. Now you could use garlic salt as well and then just omit the sea salt. That would work fine. Of course, you'd have to add more than just the 2.5 teaspoons. So you'd probably want to do about 3 tablespoons of garlic salt. And then this is 2.5 teaspoons of onion powder. So it's real simple. Now, rosemary would be great in this. And if I was serving it for like a roast beef dinner, I might add a little rosemary. But because I'm gonna use this for more of a deli style, I want the flavors to be just very simple. I don't want any overpowering flavors of rosemary. Thyme would be a good choice as well. All right, so once this is mixed up, you always want to give it a little taste, just to make sure that everything is balanced before you put it on your meat. So I'm just gonna put a tiny bit in here. That's delicious. All right, let me get my hands washed up, and then we're gonna get ready to put the seasoning all over the top round. All right, so I took the top round out of the bag, and I've already trimmed this up because I actually had to buy a 16-pound top round, and so I cut it up myself because we can't find these roast at our local stores. But most grocery stores do carry the smaller top round roast. And again, ask your butcher if you have trouble locating it. So there are a little, some pieces here that are like a little silver skin, and I usually get those off with a fillet knife. So I just go right underneath that skin and just sort of run my knife to get that off. If there's some fat, like this here is fat, I leave that on, that's gonna be fine. But the silver skin can be a little bit tough. So I like to just kind of get as much off as I can. I mean, there's still a little bit, and that's fine. All right, so the next part really is, there's no easy way to do this without getting your hands dirty. So I usually grab my rub and start to sprinkle it over liberally. This is gonna combine with the juices that come out of the meat, and it's gonna create a nice crust. And that is equal to tons of flavor. So we wanna rub this rub all over the meat on all sides. It's also better, honestly, if you do this the day before, wrap it in plastic wrap and put it in the refrigerator. That really does help, but we're not going to do that today, and you don't have to, but it does help some with developing flavor. All right, just a little bit more here. It's also important to let your top round come to room temperature. So this has been sitting out in that bag for about an hour or so. And now I'm just gonna let it sit here while I clean up my hands, and we're gonna get the Ninja Foodi preheated on broil for 10 minutes. Okay, so the Ninja Foodi has been preheating for 10 minutes on broil, and we are just about finishing up here. So once it finishes the 10-minute cycle and does its little cool down for a second or so, we will get the top round in to the Ninja Foodi on the rack, which is already in the Ninja Foodi right now, preheating as well. And then we will broil for 25 minutes. All right, let's get this in. I love when I hear it sizzle. Okay, so we're gonna go back to broil. And we're gonna go for 25 minutes. Now I am looking for a medium rare to rare roast beef. If you wanted your roast beef a little more done, so on the medium to medium well side, you would go up to about 30 to 35 minutes during this step. So what's gonna happen, it's going to broil for 25 minutes, and then that's gonna develop this nice crust on the outside, and then we're just gonna leave it in the Ninja Foodi with the Ninja Foodi turned off for about 20 more minutes and let the residual heat in the pot finish cooking our roast beef to the perfect internal temperature of about 130 is when I'm gonna pull it out, and that's gonna be a perfect medium rare. All right, so we broiled for 25 minutes, and then I let the roast beef sit in the Ninja Foodi for 25 more minutes. I checked it at 20 minutes and it still wasn't quite up to the temperature that I wanted. I think it was sitting at around 120, so I decided to just leave it in there for another 5 minutes, and I think we're ready to go. So we're gonna take this beauty out. I'm so excited. I love roast beef. In Baltimore, this is commonly called pit beef, and they serve it really thinly sliced on sandwiches with some barbecue sauce. Oh my gosh, it's so delicious. So look at that. It's perfect looking. Oh, absolutely wonderful. Now, one thing I'm going to mention real quick, because we do have to let this cool for about 10 minutes. And of course, that's going to bring that center temp up a little bit more as well. And then we can cut into it. But what I didn't mention before I rubbed it, and it's pretty important, is that I paid attention to how the grain of the meat was going so that I know when it comes out which way I'm going to slice it. So the grain of the meat is going this way. So I'm going to actually be slicing it from here, so we go against the grain. So even though it might look like, oh, that'll give you a nice piece of roast beef, and it would, but it would be a lot tougher than if we start cutting from this end. So that's what I'm going to do today after this rests for about 10 minutes, because it does need to rest so that all the juices stay inside. Otherwise, when you cut it, they just sort of come out, and then that dries out your meat. So we're just going to let this sit for about 10 minutes, and then I will carve it up and we'll get to eating. All right, so there's some really concentrated juices in here, and I'm gonna make a little bit of au jus because my husband loves to eat his roast beef with au jus, or make a French dip sandwich. That would be absolutely delicious with this. So I'm gonna turn the Ninja Foodi on, go to the sear saute. High is fine, we're not gonna cook this too long. And I'm gonna add about 3/4, this is about half of a cup to 3/4 of beef broth. And we're just gonna add that in and kind of scrape the bottoms here to get those bits off. As they heat up, they will loosen more. And so while I'm cutting the roast beef, I'm just gonna let this cook, and then you'll have some delicious au jus to serve with your roast beef. Now, of course, you could turn this into gravy also if you like. My pot wasn't sitting down. If you ever get that pot notice there, it just means that the pot isn't sitting on that button underneath correctly. I just move it around and then it starts working again. All right, so I have let this roast beef sit here for about 10 minutes or so. And now I'm gonna move it over to the cutting board. The reason why I like to let it cool on the rack is just so that the surface underneath isn't sitting directly on the cutting board and it doesn't start to steam and get real soggy, because we've got a nice crust on here. And that is so full of flavor. I wanna preserve that as much as I can. All right, so let's just get this off of the rack here. You can see I did get some juice, and that's fine. We can just set that right there. And now I'm gonna go ahead and carve it up. You want a really sharp knife, and you wanna cut thin slices. Now, of course, if you wanna get a thick slice of the roast beef, you can, but it's not gonna be as tender. So I like to cut it as thin as possible. And a sharp knife, it really, really helps. All right, so we're just gonna go down here. Oops, you know what? Let me turn this around so we get a bigger piece. And I'm really gonna just start to shave. So it's gonna be really small amount, and it's gonna look overdone, okay? Because this is the outside part, and it does get cooked a little bit more than the inside. Start to hit some of that pink there. That's what we want to see. Oh, this looks amazing. All right, look at that. That is what we want to see. So this is a perfect medium rare. Now, as we get towards the center, it's going to be even more rare, which is really how I like it. But it's great because you can cook one piece of meat and serve people that like it more on the well done by just giving them the edges, and then the people that like it on the rarer side get the middle, right? But that is just gorgeous. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. All right, I'm going to give this a stir here because I hear it come to a boil. And now all those bits are off the bottom. Oh, wow. It smells amazing. And we can go ahead and just turn that off. All right, so let's get to tasting the roast beef. So I'm gonna take one of the edges, even though it is gonna be overdone for my liking. I wanna be able to describe what that tastes like there. All right, this one didn't cut all the way through, so let me just finish cutting that. Looks good. I'm gonna cut this up a little bit here. Now I'm looking here because it looks like I was wrong about the grain, actually. Now that I'm inside the meat, I can see that the grain is going this way a little bit. So these might be a little bit more on the tougher side. So that's interesting. I thought I paid attention, but I guess I didn't. So if that happens to you, don't worry about it. Just flip it around and then start again cutting it, because you really want to cut it against the grain. That's gonna get, there we go. That's what we need it to look like. So the grain is going this way and we are cutting it against the grain. So that's gonna be a much better slice here. So I'm gonna try that. So sorry about that, guys. I really thought I had it memorized, but apparently I was wrong. So just pay attention to that because you really do want to cut it against the grain. Okay, now, first let's try the one that isn't cut correctly and is overdone, but it's going to be so flavorful. Wow. I'm telling you, that is so good. Even though it's overcooked a little bit, the flavor is amazing. All right. Let's get this piece that was cut correctly. This is so good. There's a big difference there. Just in the way it feels when you chew it. Not nearly as tough as these pieces. All right. I'm gonna try to really shave this. I'm kind of cutting a little weird right now, but all right, wow, that looks so good. So the outside has, you know, the salt and the pepper and everything, and it tastes amazing. But I also want to get an inside piece just to see how that tastes too. Perfect. So easy to do and absolutely perfect. I'm just gonna grab a little bit of this au jus, put it here, and one more taste. Wow, this is amazing. So delicious, easy to do. So I hope you give this a try, and don't skip this outer rub. It is so important for the flavor. And this one is a really simple one to do and really delicious. So I hope you enjoy this recipe. Oh, and if you want to serve this on a bun with some barbecue sauce, I will link to my homemade blender barbecue sauce right up there, because that is a quick and easy 10-minute barbecue sauce that you can make at home from scratch, and it would go wonderfully if you wanted to make a barbecue fit beef sandwich like we do in Baltimore. I'm just so excited how beautiful this roast beef came out. It is so easy to do in the Ninja Foodi, and this crust is just amazing. So definitely give this one a try. And remember, when you are cooking with meat, err on the side of caution and undercooking it. You can always take a temperature, because I always recommend having a good thermometer, and you can always cook longer, but you can't uncook.